Before we get to gold problem 11 or 12, we need to be fluent at adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Cody, do you have this on your paper? Okay. When we add and subtract decimals, you'll remember back to 4th or 5th grade, we have to line up the decimals very precisely. If we're going too fast, it's going to throw us off and make us have an incorrect answer. What I call this is I call it building a snowman. So when we add and subtract decimals, you'll hear that terminology. I'll say build your snowman first. That means you're going to make sure it's nice and precise like this. Here's the first dot. Here's the second dot. Here's the third dot. That is the 3 parts to the snowman. There's your equal sign. 7.65 minus 4.9. From the snowman, we're going to go to good guys versus bad guys. What's happening in this problem? Is it good versus bad, or is it banding? Henry. This is a good guy, that's a bad guy. Do good guys and bad guys band together? They fight. So we're going to go ahead and set up. The top number is the bigger number. The bottom number is the smaller number. You will never have the top number be smaller when you set up decimals. We'll see that in the next 2 examples. Aiden.
Where's my test?
I took it. It's time for the aim. Go to your packet and flip to aim example 1. Okay. So now that you know this is set up correctly, the good guy is bigger than the bad guy. The good guy is going to win. Let's subtract it. 5 minus 0, starting on the right side, is 5. I can't subtract 6 from 9, so I borrow from the 7. Carry a tens unit. This is now 16, and I can subtract 16 minus 9 whole class.
7.
It is 7. That goes right underneath it. Notice how my columns are nice and neat, just like my snowman. It has to line up directly like that. Nathan, can you wait 10 minutes? And 6 minus 4 is 2. Is this answer a good guy or a bad guy in the end? Evelyn. 7 faces a 4. Why is it good, Evelyn? Who's bigger, the 7 or the 4? And minus 4.9 is the same thing as a bad guy 4.9, right? So that minus sign means it's a good guy 7, bad guy 4. So good guy should win. That is what we're kind of jogging a memory back from Unit 1 all the way in Unit 3. That's why I started out your first unit with good guys and bad guys and just basically repeating that until it got ingrained in your minds. It's going to come back and haunt us for every unit. Sean, question.
That's okay.
Can you wait for 10 minutes? Example 2. We have 3.6, which is a bad guy, and a positive 0.43. Who would win this battle? They are fighting. Are the bad guys winning? Or the good guys winning? Turn and talk to your partner. Odds you're starting. Juliet, talk to Henry. Who wins this battle? Example 2, good or bad? Why? Go. Odds you're starting. You agree with that?
You get me?
Bad guys are 3, good guys are 0.4. It's kind of tricky, yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who wins this? Whole class, show me thumb up for a good guy, thumb down for a bad guy. Who wins it? Don't change your answers. Hands down. Dublin, why do the bad guys win?
Because there's a 0 in front of the 0.43 and then there's 3 points.
When you have decimals, you need to start looking at the numbers to the left of the decimal. The 3 is really facing a 0. It's not facing a 4. So this bad guy is ultimately going to win. Set up your bigger number on the top. 3 is bigger, so it goes on the top. Build your snowman. 0.43 goes below it. Notice how I put the decimals in line and my numbers just naturally fall into place. If you have a place value that's not filled in, throw a 0 in there so you can subtract. Because these guys were fighting. I know bad guys win in the end, but because they're fighting, we have to put a minus sign. This is going to show me the difference. I know that the bad guy wasn't 0.43, and now it kind of looks like that. But this is behind the scenes of the war, what's going on. They're both fighting. At the end, a bad guy does eventually win. I already thought about that. So let's go ahead and subtract it. 0 minus 3 doesn't work. What do I do from here, Hunter? Instead of 6 minus 4, I still have to deal with the 0 and 3. Can I borrow from a 6? What do I put next to the 0?
Mario was jumping up there.
Devlin talking to.
Yeah.
10 minus 3, Sean, unprofessional 2.
Where did I get one?
Talking. Henry laughing too. Sean, you are just that one. Okay, so the 10 goes there. 10 minus 3 is 7. 5 minus 4 is 1. That works. Then do 3 minus 0. Your answer should be a negative 3.17. Bad guy is 1. I checked that off. And we're moving on. Example 3 is negative 8.13 minus 9 with nothing left. Build a snowman for this one. And what's happening in this problem? Are we fighting or are we banding? Even start 15 seconds. Go.
Band. And
Talk first.
band. I think we're banding.
Who wins, good or bad? Keep talking. Yeah.
So I was kind of confused with this one because it said adding, and then all of a sudden it was subtracting.
Because they're fighting. You see how that's a bad guy and that's a good guy. Because they're both different types of numbers. When you have a bad guy versus good guy, a war, they fight. And a fight is always going to end up in subtraction. Fights never band together. So even though you see the plus sign second, you still have to take away as if they're fighting each other. Track me, and what happens in this one? Ashton, hood off. Tristan, face forwards. Jenica.
They band together.
Yeah, they're both bad guys. And what should the ending result be? Good or bad, Henry?
It will result in bad.
Yeah. Question or comment? Keep going. Okay. From here, when you have a 9, notice that doesn't have a decimal. We're going to treat it like a 9.0. You can always put a decimal at the end of a whole number and make it 9.00. That will make it a decimal that lines up with the snowman. Let's add those together. 3 plus 0 whole class.
3.
1 plus 0.
1, 3.
And 9 plus 8.
17.
Why is this a bad guy 17.13, Cody?
Because two bad guys are banding.
Yeah, and if I just stopped at this, I might be tempted to say, hey, 8 plus 9, that's addition, right? So it should be a positive. In your mind, you're always thinking back to good guys versus bad. These band, so the answer cannot be a good guy. Bad guys never band together and form good, unless you're multiplying or dividing. Next page. You're going to start at 5 minutes of bronze work, and I should see these steps. Aiden, be professional. Decimals should look like this. You're thinking good guy versus bad guy. I might even put what the problem will end up in. Well, a 9's bigger than a 2. They fight. I know a good guy's got to be the answer, so I'm going to put a plus sign there. They're going to fight, and the bigger number goes in the top of a fight. You can solve this and give me the answer, please. Nora.
11.4.
So remember that we're fighting. This probably confused you. What's 9 minus 2? Keep going, Nora. 3 minus 1 is what? And 9 minus 2?
7.
Yeah. And it's a good guy.